Well, howdy. Happy Monday, I guess if you can say that. Also, happy holy shit, Robert Roode is back. Okay. I'm your host, Liz. Welcome to the Pinfall podcast. I'm your host, Liz. And I'm joined, as always, by my gorgeous, charming, handsome, completely awake and alive host, Marcus.
I want to play the glorious or Robert Roode's walkout, but every time I play a walkout on the show, we get a copyright strike on YouTube. So we got one for yesterday for Drew's song.
Oh, did we? Oh, Drew, how could you?
Blame Vince.
I always do. I just want the Robert Roode theme song to play when, anytime, I walk out into, out of this apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
out into the real world.
Oh, pardon the powder on my boob. I was like, what is that light color?
You're looking great today.
All right. Thank you. My hair is totally unwashed. I feel like a scoundrel.
Because you are.
Yeah, well. Takes one to know one.
Yeah.
I'm at Pete's.
Oh, okay.
You know she's the real scoundrel here.
Yeah.
So, you want to jump into the news? You want to do the news? We could do the news.
Oh, I never removed yesterday's asterisk. Forgot about that. That asterisk is still there.
Oh.
And it's gone. Sure. News, whatever.
I don't know why every time I'm shocked by the dismay in your voice. It goes right onto my other laptop.
It's because nowadays the news is never good.
Well, to start us off, Slapjack has COVID. And the other Retribution members, but felt better to start that one off with Slapjack.
I have a little bit of news about Raw Underground for whenever you're ready. Yeah, Slapjack.
Oh, sorry, I was going back in my head because I know you told me about that, and then you told me about different news, and I was like, which one did he actually get into detail on? Please tell me about the Raw Underground stuff though, because that is another thing. Happy we didn't see Shane McMahon coked off his ass day as well.
Although it was a great sight that we did not see Raw Underground at all today. The reason for that is because of COVID. They were affected by the outbreak too.
Oh, you mean massive gathering of people with no masks on?
Yeah.
That was affected by COVID?
All NXT people that were watching NXT.
It's just always interesting to me because, every time we tune into Raw Underground, it's a bunch of screaming and shouting folks without any sort of a mask.
Smacking the same mat over and over.
While other wrestlers bump into them.
And sweat all over them.
Yeah, that's shocking. That's really shocking to me. I never thought that would get hit by COVID at all. Anyways. I assumed, because, they went into this whole thing with Dabba-Kato, 7 days ago. I figured that they hadn't just sloughed it off, but also at the same time, it is WWE, so they could have.
I wish they did. I hate Dabba-Kato.
The passion in your voice when you said that, my god.
Dabba-Kato sucks. He's a nerd. Loser. I could probably beat him up.
Calling Shane McMahon right fucking now.
Yeah, get me on Raw Underground.
Sure. So now we have Dabba-Kato versus this schmuck who said he could fight him. Who's gonna win?
They don't even do us the pleasure of saying the podcast name. They just say this guy on the internet.
This dude. This guy who talks to a camera for a living. I just, I can imagine you getting in there and just being scrappy as shit and just, immediately jumping on his back, and he just falls. And then that's the last we ever saw of Mark.
I just, kind of, bullfighting him, like Toro him, and just knock him out of the ring. Because if you can jump out of the ring, you lose. This is the Raw Underground rule, I guess.
I've seen people get thrown out of the ring and they still fight.
Yeah, but like early on, they said like, "Oh, you're out of the ring. Match is over." This is very dumb.
I love having rules in a fight club. And it not just being that we can't talk about Raw Underground. Actually, that's quite the opposite. They really want us to talk about Raw Underground. So
Yeah.
I don't think Vince quite understood that movie. Or Shane. All right, so in other news, Angel Garza might have a hip injury. He got an MRI today. That was kind of what they were assuming, though. However, it was announced that Street Profits were supposed to win. Just not like that.
Good.
So also Demi still has not been around, so I don't know if you want to keep equating that to Retribution.
No, her crossover is probably just done. They're probably just done with that.
Poor Angel. Doesn't have Zelina. Doesn't have Demi.
Doesn't have Andrade.
Charlie split in time with Kayla now.
Doesn't have his hip.
Doesn't have a title. Rest in peace, buddy.
Doesn't
Sami
have Austin
Zayn.
Theory.
Well, okay. We were talking about real losses. So apparently Sami Zayn had to be talked to by WWE management for being too annoying backstage.
We kind of knew that he was like annoying to people.
I think Kevin Owens, I think it was his interview that I saw where Kevin Owens was like, he was on a podcast or something and they were asking him about Sami. And he's like, yeah, no, Sami like is super fucking annoying. Constantly. But then it grows on you. He doesn't change anything about his personality. Like you go in, you hate him, and then suddenly you just start loving him. And I listened to that and I was like, it's funny. Because that's exactly how it worked for us. We were just like, this fucking guy.
Yeah.
And then like nothing happened at all, and suddenly we were just like, Sami Zayn, yay! Still just as annoying. But I guess he had to be talked to because a lot of people were complaining about it. Like wrestlers were.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I hope by annoying they mean pranks. Like he just pulled a ton of pranks on everybody backstage.
oh, he just seems like he's probably obnoxious. Like just talks too much. So it didn't sound like it was like anything lecherous or nefarious. It just sounded like he was being an asshole.
Mm.
And people were like, please stop. Which is, it's funny to me because like he also is like such a lovely guy, it seems like in like the world of philanthropy.
Mm-hmm.
Plus he's like super private about his life outside of like the philanthropy stuff and wrestling. He's super private about like his personal life. So it's just like, I feel like I've got this mental disconnect between Sami Zayn, the WWE wrestler, and Sami Zayn, the person. I don't think I'm ever actually going to know what's the truth. So this is something that happened, by the way, a couple days ago, I think. It may have happened yesterday. I'm not really sure. Ryback.
Mm-hmm.
Ryback was quoted as, and you read the interview. Ryback was quoted as, fully in context, saying, "The world will be a better place when Vince McMahon dies."
Yep.
Which, you know, I have my personal feelings towards the McMahons. I usually would have saved that comment for somebody like the leader of this great nation. Which I assume he might be like a step under that at least. Just seems like a very bold thing to say.
So,
because I guarantee it, the world, if he died tomorrow, I think the world would still be quite shit.
So were there advancements in that story? Oh, you just want to reiterate?
Yeah, well, because we never talked about it.
Oh, really? I thought I did.
Yeah, we didn't bring that up because I think you mentioned it to me yesterday, and we didn't do the news yesterday.
Oh, okay. Also, I have a piece of news actually.
Please go forward.
Rob Van Dam apparently has been released from Impact. He was formerly a member of part of WWE.
I'm gonna sound stupid.
Yeah.
But I am the woman on the show, so that's my position. Just kidding. I'm quite smart. I got a 1910 on my SATs. It was only a matter of time before I brought it up here too. Related to Claude Van Damme?
Huh?
Jean-Claude Van Damme? Jean-Claude Van Damme?
No.
I don't know. Van Damme's a pretty prolific last name, and he was an action star. That's not that crazy.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, I believe his last name is spelled D-A-M-M-E.
Oh.
Rob Van Dam is D-A-M.
That's such a boring way to fucking spell it. Damn.
Rob Van Dam is the only wrestler in history to have held the WWE Championship, the ECW World Heavyweight Championship, and the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. So.
Oh, I've seen this dude before. I don't know where, but
probably going to be going to AEW. I can almost guarantee that.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like... I mean, I don't know if maybe I'm, kind of crazy, but, it never seems like WWE, goes after a lot of released wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
At least in recent times, it never feels like, oh, so-and-so was released by AEW or so-and-so was released by Impact. It never seems like they scoop any of those people up.
Because they always build new talent. I think it's easier for them to build new talent rather than have to rework existing talent to fit their storylines.
That makes sense.
Do you have any more news for today?
I have one last piece of news. It's sort of news that we talked about yesterday, but I just wanted to do it officially on the news. WWE has announced that the draft is happening, and the dates of the draft are as follows. It starts on October 9th, and then it ends on October 12th. Kind of excited to see where this goes. Also kind of confused because, with all the people that have come over to Raw recently, sort of feels like it's what's the point of having the goddamn draft, dude?
Yeah, I feel like bringing Dana Brooke today was way too early. They should just waited a week.
Yeah, no one would have died if we hadn't had to see that match. They could have just done, Raw is no stranger to repeating fights. They could have just done Natty versus Mickie James or Lana versus Mickie James, filled that spot just fine. Between Braun fighting Dabba-Kato yesterday and Braun being brought out to the center of the ring in Raw the other day, Dana Brooke making her appearance, Mandy Rose finally making her appearance, Drew Gulak being on Raw tonight, and Robert Roode, which it should have been expected that Robert would have followed Dolph. But Robert Roode also coming over to Raw. It's who the fuck else can come over at this point? Also, unless you bring people up, but
I feel like doing the draft just a month before, 4 weeks before Survivor Series is gonna make it feel weird. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of people who might not be used to each other. At least recently. I don't know. I have my skepticisms, but who knows? I'm sure something like this has been done before.
That actually brings me into an interesting thought. Okay, so... Oh, wow. Ooh! Sorry, I don't mean to just keep making sounds. So in 2017, 2018, and 2019, and prior drafts before that, because it started in 2002, happened in 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then not again after 2011, because I think that was when the brands merged.
Mm-hmm.
Then again in 2016 after the split. But after the split, it was done only in April, except it was done twice in 2019. And that's when they did in October last year, as well as April. The interesting thing, though, is that although Triple H did kind of hint that maybe there would be some NXT participation in the draft, because he said, things are weird right now. It would make sense for us to do it this way. The last 3 drafts have had NXT parentheses outgoing only, and 205 Live outgoing only. This year, on the Wikipedia page, at least right now, it only says Raw and SmackDown. So I don't think anybody's getting called up. Or
Maybe.
called down.
Well, yeah, probably not called down, probably called up.
Well, no, because they're not on it's not NXT outgoing only on there. Unless that changes in, the next 2 weeks, which it could.
I have a feeling it will, because I'm seeing a lot of NXT stars kind of posting fake welcome to SmackDown pictures on Twitter. Like Swerve posted one, Bronson Reed posted one.
Maybe Triple H hasn't told them yet that they're not part of it.
Maybe.
It is kind of interesting to me, though, because, the NXT people have really gotten into, for example, with Drew's open challenge tonight, Bronson Reed was like, open challenge with the eyes emoji, and I was like, you do this every fucking time, Bronson. You can't be part of every single thing. It's just not right. But I don't know, man.
One of my guesses was an NXT star.
And you were wrong. I mean, well, I guess
Roode's an
theory, right?
NXT star, but just not current.
Still, that leaves us with the question of who the Christ is going to be at TakeOver. Because it doesn't make sense for them to bring Roode over to Raw for one match and then shove him over to NXT.
Bo Dallas.
That's the only person left. But what does the poster have anything to do with it? Does that still fit in?
Probably not.
Maybe it was like a red herring.
Well, the people in that poster, let me try and find it again. NXT TakeOver. Okay. Where is that? Okay. So the people in the poster for the for those who don't know, in the little vignette, the person dusts over an NXT TakeOver Orlando, Florida poster. Main evented by Shinsuke Nakamura and Bobby Roode. Shinsuke would not be pushed down to NXT at this time. He's got a tag team with Cesaro, so that's not changing. Also on that poster are Asuka, who is the current Raw Women's Champion and will not be pushed down. Ember Moon, possible that's Ember Moon. Andrade, probably not, considering he just fought Keith Lee today. And Aleister Black, who might, I don't know. He just got a new walkout and stuff, so maybe.
Sucks. It's not as good as this other one.
It really isn't. It's not good.
It's not good. It's not good. I've got words for that. I got words for that when we get to the match. But I got a lot of fucking words about it. Got a lot of fucking words. Damn, my eyebrows look hella dark tonight. Alright. You want to talk about matches and promos?
Yeah, sure.
May as well. I guess we're here, right? Got our cameras on, got our mics on. You got 2 things here, buddy.
Yep, so we started off with Ric Flair, Big Show, Shawn Michaels, and Christian walking out and welcoming out Drew McIntyre after his retaining of the WWE Championship against Randy Orton. And they're basically congratulating him, and then Drew, one by one, thanks each and every one of them. And then pops off the promo by issuing an open challenge to everyone in the WWE. Anyone who hasn't challenged him prior. And then the speculating commenced between the two of us. Who do we say first? You said Keith Lee. Forget who I said. I think I said Mustafa or something.
Yes, you did. And one by one, we were ruled out with every single prediction that we made.
Yeah.
Every single one, just like it was like Stephanie McMahon heard it, and then she sat back and she's like, "Alrighty, I know what order we're going in tonight."
And she's just like, please don't get to Robert Roode. Please don't get to Robert Roode. Please don't get to Robert Roode. We can't afford that.
No, because I was like, I've been hurt too many fucking times by this stupid ass goddamn brand. I'm not gonna let it happen tonight. I know he's not gonna be coming back. Because then this was around the time too that you told me about the Robert Roode thing with the poster and NXT, and I was like, oh, okay, so yeah, I'm SOL on that one.
Yeah.
And thank God I held my fucking hopes up.
Or
maybe I let them fall.
I stupidly predicted it was The Undertaker.
Listen, we all get to have one wishful thinking. I said it was Byron at one point, so.
And then after that, we had a Zelina interview right before her match with Asuka. Basically just her like, I'm gonna beat Asuka, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember this interview very well because a lot happened today. I'm gonna assume it was just trash talking.
I mean, it was that, and also she made a short joke to Caleb Braxton, who she is shorter than.
Oh, yeah.
Which is probably the most important and memorable part of that entire promo. Because it was the same shit as it always is with Asuka. It's her opponent saying some dumb shit, and Asuka being like, oh ho ho, and then interrupting, and then either there's a fight or someone storms off, and it's just... Give Asuka another type of promo. I'm begging. I'm not asking for much.
And then we move on to you for this first fight.
All right. So, you know, it's kind of funny to me. I already know that we're going to see this match at least 4 more times. So I'm already tired of it. I'm already sick of this. I don't want to see it anymore. Raw has worn me out. So Zelina slams Asuka to the ground. There's a little bit of punching. An armbar to Zelina. Zelina manages to reach the rope. Asuka then slams Zelina into the canvas vis-a-vis her hair. Zelina starts targeting the arm that she injured last night. Does a modified octopus hold to Asuka. Asuka manages to break free, but Zelina kicks her out of the ring. And then kind of goes, I don't know if it was a crossbody or flying forearms or a mix of both. Who's to say? She goes for that off the apron, but she meets Asuka's knees. Zelina gets back in with Asuka, slaps her, which kind of pisses Asuka off. She kind of lets loose a little bit. She punches around. She slaps around, kicks around. Who knows? Sends a knee to Zelina's face. It's a hip attack on her. Thank God we did not see Asuka get strung up again. First time I think that we've seen her not get like strung up in the ropes after a hip attack misses in a really long time. So fight of the night, I guess. I don't know. So a hip attack to Zelina and a kick to the midsection. Then a German suplex and a running knee to Zelina. Asuka misses a kick to her, and then Zelina does... And I think this is the one thing that's going to like put me over on Zelina, is that she has like these really weird submission holds that aren't what everyone always does.
Yeah.
She's got some cool shit that she does. Between the modified octopus, I think she did the crucifix last night, or the modified crucifix.
Yeah.
And then she got a hanging double wrist lock to Asuka's injured arm. Asuka like tries to fight free, but Zelina's like a fucking cat. Just clings on. There was a really good Star Trek pun right there. I'm so sorry. Anyways. Asuka launches Zelina in a belly-to-belly suplex. In a belly-to-belly suplex. Not a zuplex. Asuka manages to get the Asuka lock on her, but Zelina grabs the rope again. Asuka starts fighting with the ref and gives Zelina the chance to do a backstabber to her, another move which I'm really starting to love. And then Zelina moonsaults off the top rope, right into Asuka's knees. Asuka gets Asuka lock cinched in on her, and Zelina taps. Because Asuka's not losing her title in a Monday Night Raw episode.
You never know.
Sorry.
I think this happened before.
Yes, it did, because she was fighting Sasha and Bayley for it like 41 times.
Yeah. And then after that, we cut to commercial, and then we come back. Zelina's still out, like, outside of the ring. And now Andrade's in the ring and yelling at her, saying, like, we don't need you, you're weak. A lot of stuff with his accent that I can't understand all of what he's saying.
I wanted to say something, actually, to that. Apparently, Andrade did... Okay, we're gonna knock this over. Apparently, Andrade did a lot of promo stuff for SummerSlam last year.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, please don't bite me. Thank you. He did promo stuff for SummerSlam, like a lot of like interviews and shit, because he wanted to get better at speaking English. And I think somebody said that he ended up doing like 32 fucking interviews.
Wow.
And like with no supervision whatsoever. Just like he went out there and he answered the goddamn questions, and I was like, I mean, the fact that I can't speak any functional French, and I took that for 5 years, so I guess vibes. But it is kind of apparent that he's not super confident with it still, because the moment he started talking in Spanish, he was off on a fucking rocket.
Oh yeah.
I did like that he translated everything he said, though. It seemed very nice of him.
Asuka does that too.
Yeah. So does Ray. But sorry, continue. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, that's basically it. I think it was just him yelling at her for a little bit. Then we moved on to the next part where he basically says he pulls a Drew. He's like, I want to challenge anyone. Someone come out and fight me. Except he doesn't have a title for anyone to want. And then Keith Lee walks out.
Just wants someone angry.
Yeah, and Keith Lee's that angry man.
And then we lead into Elizabeth. Also, this doesn't count as a promo. I just want to talk about the 4 uncles playing cards backstage. The 4 old men. Just having a good fucking time. Why are they playing cards? We don't fucking know until like the last fucking minutes of the show. But also the Andrade thing, like, once again, another like breakup of a tag team. I'm just sitting, or not really a tag team, but like I guess a firing of a manager. I was just sitting there, I was like, she gave you everything. She gave you her heart and her soul and her energy. She cheated for you.
But at least we get another addition to women's wrestling on Raw.
Thank God. And you know what? I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset about this addition.
I think her match today was better than the one yesterday.
And I'm also like, I don't mean to do the typical kind of like women's wrestlers thing, but like if her wrestling outfits are anything like her outfits that she wore anytime she was with Andrade and Angel, I'm kind of excited to see that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Also love that she bedazzles her little tattoo. Love that every fucking time.
I noticed that.
She's done it like 3 times now, and every time I'm like, I respect it. Alright, so Keith Lee comes out. Andrade immediately tries to get a waist lock on him. Kind of starts punching Keith, but is subjected to a massive clothesline. Keith gets a wrist lock on Andrade, launches him, and then Andrade ducks Keith, sending him face first into the top turnbuckle. Keith just is pummeled. There was actually a moment where I was like, oh, actually, I think Keith might lose this. Jesus. Keith jumped over Andrade, which didn't know gravity quite worked that way. Keith Lee's a massive dude, and he managed to almost completely clear Andrade. He definitely had to kind of push off of him a little bit to get him like under.
It also looked like I know it was him dropping under Andrade, but it looked like for a second that he fumbled the landing.
It looked like he fell.
Luckily,
I noticed that too, and I was just like,
and luckily he did.
But it made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it made sense in the context of the next move, but God. Andrade is then caught by Keith, avoids a drop, and then drop kicks Lee in the spine, sends his little double knees to Keith's face. Andrade is trying to get Keith to stand up, but is immediately made to regret that choice when he's spirited the fuck away by Keith Lee's spirit bomb. Jesus Christ, Keith Lee's gonna break somebody one day.
Yeah.
I am positive of it.
He's gonna break Angel Garza. Calling it now.
Please no. Angel Garza's already broken, dude. You can't call somebody's gonna break before they're actually back.
Too bad.
However, you have 4 promos to get through now.
All right, lightning round. All right, so we start off with a little Hurt Business promo where they're at catering and some random dude sits at their table. My dude, all right, normally I wouldn't side with Hurt Business, but also, why are you just sitting at a random table, a small table, with 2 people there that you're not friends with? Like, it's fine to eat alone.
In an empty parking lot.
Yeah, it's fine to eat
when
alone.
When you're in an empty parking lot and someone just pulls in next to you, it's like, don't do that. That's weird.
Yeah. And then Bobby Lashley comes in and is like, you're in my seat. He gets up, says sorry, like sits in a different seat, but Bobby pulls that chair away. Like, he tries to squeeze into, like, he's best buds with MVP and Shelton. And then takes his food from him too, which, it's COVID time, alright, so maybe don't take other people's food.
It's COVID time.
Yeah, that's what we've devolved to at this point.
Instead of hammer time.
And then we have R-Truth in a little promo. He's... What's going on? What was the context of this?
You've forgotten, Marcus.
He was like eating. He was eating backstage.
No, playing chess.
Oh,
he's playing chess with little Jimmy.
He was playing chess with little Jimmy.
How could you forget little Jimmy?
And then a ninja comes by him, hands him a little envelope, and says, "It's all in Japanese." And he flips to the English translated one. And then as he's reading it, which, by the way, it starts off as, if you're reading this, I have been eaten by a shark.
He was prepped.
And then behind him, Akira Tozawa crawls out of a table, pins him, takes the title, but then that ninja that handed him the letter pins Akira Tozawa, takes the title from him, and reveals it's Drew Gulak. And then R-Truth pins Drew Gulak to take the title from him, so now it's back into R-Truth's hands, sorry, and very, very complex here. And then he runs off, they run after him. And then after that, we have a little promo with Buddy Murphy, who is just chilling backstage right now, and then Seth comes by, and he's like, "Buddy, what are you doing? Why are you in your gear? You don't have a fight. Get into your nice suit. We're gonna go on the king's court with the Mysterio family. You gotta look nice." And so Murphy walks away, but leaves his phone. Seth picks up his phone and just tucks it into his little jacket pocket, knowing he's gonna need that for later. Murphy, none the wiser as to his phone disappearing. And then after that, we had the King's Court with the Mysterio family. Jerry Lawler talks to the family, but mostly says, like, I don't even remember so much.
Basically, he was like, "Hey, Aaliyah, I know that your father just fucking spoke down to you last week, so, like, what the fuck's good with that?"
Oh yeah, he wanted to less address the Seth situation and more so how Ray talked to Aaliyah. But then Seth comes on the Jumbotron and says, "Hey guys, I peeped into Buddy's phone and look at these texts." Because prior to this, Aaliyah had been saying that she didn't like Murphy. She hadn't said much to him. She wasn't very friendly with him. But Seth's discovery proved otherwise. The texts were basically like, they were just a back and forth, but then the last one says, "Happy birthday," and some other stuff in there. It's creepy. I don't like this. She's 19. He's 31. That's a 12-year age gap. He might be 32, make it 13 years. Still weird. Legal, but weird. And then, Dominik, Ray and Aaliyah, or Aaliyah leaves the ring first, mad, and then Ray and Angie chase after her, and then Dominik takes his time.
Yeah, he just fucking stands there for a minute.
And then I believe, we go backstage again to Murphy, and Dominik fucking just tackles the shit out of him and starts beating him. And for once, I'm like, yes, Dominik. Yes. This is what you need to do. You are doing your job.
So, very important things to talk about here. First things first. Buddy does stand up to Seth. He's like, "Hey, why the fuck did you go through my phone?" But also, Seth sent him away to put on his suit, and he came back not in his suit. So it's like, where the fuck did you go? Seth, what did you have planned if you didn't have Buddy's phone prior?
And also Seth didn't appear on the King's Court. He just appeared in the Jumbotron. Murphy wouldn't have either.
To be bigger than life. Regardless, got a lot of shit to say right now. I'll make it fucking fast. No, I won't. First things first. He's 31. He's 31. Horrifying. No thank you. Red flags. Fiend sounds in the back of my head. Just blaring. Second of all, he's 31. Third of all, she's 19. Fourth of all, you know what? For once in my fucking life, I was like, you know what, Dominik, go ahead. Go fucking ahead. Have fun. That's your little sister. And there's a 31-year-old man, a man who is closer to 40 than he is your sister's age. Messaging your sister.
And also,
yeah, she responded, but also she's 19.
I also just want to address the fact that people are like attacking Alexa Bliss on social media.
Oh my god.
For allowing this storyline to happen. It's like
she said something in support of Buddy, and that's why people started coming after her. And I was like, hey guys, first things first, he's not actually fucking the 19-year-old. So let's draw that line first.
Second off, he doesn't rate the story.
Yeah, it's just, it gets creepier too. But I just need to know who on God's green fucking earth wrote the storyline. Second of all, I need to know who on God's green fucking earth greenlit the storyline and said, yeah, you know what? I know Buddy's 31. Wouldn't it be just absolutely fantastic if we let him flirt with a 19-year-old? Oh my god.
Vince.
Dude, here's the other thing. Ray and Angie, actually. I'm going to put the blame on both of them here. And yes, Vince, sorry. My brain was running too fast to understand what you said. Ray and Angie are the parents of this child. I get it. She's 19. She can do what she wants. I didn't have that luxury when I was 19 because I still lived under my parents' thumb even when I was away at school. However, if my mother, my stepfather, or my father ever got wind that my 19-year-old ass was messaging a 31-year-old, which even I never did, and I was a goddamn mess in college, if they ever got wind of that, it would be lights out. It would be lockdown time. I would have been in isolation. No one would have been able to talk to me. Like, Ray, my dude, step in. Say, hey, Aaliyah, I get it. You can't vote yet, or you can't drink yet, so give me the fucking phone. Stop talking to a 31-year-old. It's so creepy. It's so creepy. It's just, oh my God. I wasn't even casually messaging 31-year-olds when I was 19. That alone was already, even in my stupid, undeveloped brain, there was already a massive gap in my head. And now I'm 24, so I'm rightfully disgusted. And there's some fucking old-ass person in WWE that's like, yeah, that'll make the ratings go fucking up. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
I saw a comment on Reddit that was basically saying that this storyline is a telenovela. And they had a checklist. The telenovela checklist, which is there's a secret, check. Someone falls in love / befriends the wrong guy, check. Somebody gets slapped, check. Somebody's gonna get pregnant, check. It started because
Wait, where are we checking that?
It started because Becky got pregnant. The unchecked ones are there's an evil twin. Can't wait for that one to show up.
I can't have 2 Dominics, please.
2 Rays, 2 Aaliyahs, 2 Buddies.
Well, no, because Buddy's technically the bad guy here. So he's already the evil twin. We'd have to find a good twin.
Yeah, he could be the evil twin.
Seth? Maybe the evil twin is Seth.
It's Drew.
Buddy's brainwashed by him.
Drew's Seth's evil twin. Also, someone's car is going to explode.
Vince?
And someone ends up in they crossed out hospital and said medical facility.
Local medical facility. The LMFAO.
And someone else added the check. Mostly speak English, but when everyone gets angry, it turns into Spanish.
I mean, to be fair, I did say, I think at one point while we were watching it, that it was like, it felt like a soap opera at that point. But honestly, I mean, we got some really good reaction from Dom. Like, he looked like he was actually pissed in this promo.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the match because I don't have the same quite feelings, but also, I have officially decided that the LMFAO does work because it's the local medical facility at Orlando, Florida. Bitch.
LMFAOF.
It's a comma Florida.
LMFAO, comma F.
Comma F. The comma doesn't count. After the comma, it's gone. LMFAO. Anyways. Please move on to the next promo before I have a goddamn aneurysm on the fucking podcast.
The next promo is it's just Natalya and Lana talking in the ring, and them. I think they also pulled the "we want a challenger" bit. No.
They said that they're not going to leave the ring until Nia and Shayna are stripped of their titles.
Oh. And then...
So kind of same vibe.
And then Adam Pearce came out and was like, that's not going to happen, ladies. Sorry. It's not going to happen. Also, you're lagging a lot right now. So Adam Pearce comes out, and then he introduces the tag team that will be their match for tonight. A new tag team to Raw, which is Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. And then we move into the next match.
Do you know how hard it is to take notes? You got 2 platinum blondes in the goddamn ring, wearing not the same clothes, but like, at the end of the day, it may as well fucking be the same clothes. They're the same height, the same build. My brain was going a mile a minute on this one, because I was already just recovering from the nausea of the fucking promo prior. Natty and Lana are gay together, so it's confirmed by me. Okay. I guess we gotta talk about this. Really cannot believe that we don't have Raw Underground to talk about. It's still like boggling me a little bit. Even though we never really talked about it, it's still throwing me like for a fucking loop. a headlock by Natty. She powers out, kicks Natty in the knee, and does her little handspring into an elbow into Natty's throat in the corner. It's a whole fucking thing. Mandy's in now. She gets Natty down. She doesn't do that fucking much. She gets Dana back in. Petite little boot in the face because it's Dana Brooke. What else were we fucking expecting that much? Sorry. Tell me, Dana Brooke. I don't think you do either.
No, I don't like her really. She just seems too bland, stuck in the 80s, that kind of thing. Stuck in the 90s actually.
There still.
Yeah.
Still 100% where Mickie James is, and you're starting to flicker for me. Christ.
You've lost your nose at this point.
I put a highlighter on it. I always put blush and highlighter on my nose, my little Rudolph nose. So get a kick to the back of Lana by Dana by Lana, and she brings Dana down to the corner. She tags Mandy back in, sliding to the 15 from Lana, and a headlock. Lana just kind of whips her around a little bit, grinds that headlock in, takes Dana down, and then just fucking power slaps Mandy Rose off the apron. Like a way where I was like, I wasn't convinced by your fighting style before. Like, right? Sure. I mean, she's the reason Sonya's. Yeah, she's. I'm not going to pretend that that's the truth. Sorry. But she does. She power slaps Mandy. Dana gets a step up security to Lana's face. She tags Mandy back in. Mandy takes Lana down, suplexes her. Then Natty goes to break up the cover on Lana. Dana comes in, tackles her the fuck back out. And as you should have expected, we get a pump knee strike to Lana from Mandy. Ambitions. LLB. What do you expect?
Yeah. I wish Mandy had a tag partner that I, enjoyed a little more. But at the end of the day, it's just my opinion.
I think the thing that annoys the shit out of me. Sorry, I didn't interrupt you. I don't know if you want to finish your thought.
I was gonna say it's not like I'm sure that she has a lot of fans.
I guess like my problem really is that like their whole thing, like their walkout, their pose, like with the walkout, is like flexing their muscles. Dana Brooke is fucking jacked. Mandy Rose is also fucking jacked. They're both very muscular women, and not even in like the same way. Who was that we were talking about? We were Lacey Evans recently. Lacey Evans is jacked. You really can't tell she's jacked because of the way her covers the muscles up.
Mm-hmm.
When she flexes, you're like, ooh. But Dana Brooke is obviously jacked. Mandy Rose is also quite obviously very strong. Life of me, I don't get it. Like, cartwheeling around. It's like, yeah, I get it. You can cartwheel. It's great. You can also use that to your advantage. Oh my god, you're so much stronger than this. Don't cartwheel, stop, kick Lana in the face with like a little tootsie. Like,
she has kind of the Alexa Bliss thing where she like does a move, stops herself, and then does like something really tiny.
Yeah. And I guess like this is like I kind of like I get it because it's like, oh, I get it. Because Alexa Bliss, has all this force, and then she stops and she's like, because it's like, oh wow, you're really strong. Oh, and you're so cute. And like, it's whatever. Because now she's doing the fucking Sister Abigail, and I'm like, oh my god. But this is why I like Sonya. This is why I like people like Asuka, even people like Zelina, where it's like, you're doing shit that like isn't so dainty, you know.
Even
But
Mandy.
still... Yeah, I guess Mandy didn't get that much time tonight. Actually, there's a lot of Dana Brooke, but it's like, and even with Bailey too, or Nikki, it's like it's not dainty. It's rough. It looks like it fucking hurts. Sasha Banks, she's a goddamn nightmare in the fucking ring because she's just so fast and powerful. I cannot stand this like cutesy shit. It's like, if you're that jacked, use it. As a woman, and maybe, you know, maybe this doesn't go for the general male WWE population. As a woman, I want to see another woman fucking club someone. I don't need to see slaps. I slapped someone in 4th grade and I said, that's good. Let's move on. I'd love to see somebody punch somebody. I don't want to see little slaps and like light little boots. It's like, I want a Lady Aleister Black.
Shayna Baszler.
Dude, that's why I learned to love Shayna Baszler. Because Shayna Baszler takes no fucking shit, and she's just an absolute masochist, right? Or is it sadist?
Masochist means she wants to hurt herself.
So she's an absolute fucking sadist in the ring, and I love that. Even with like Asuka, where it's like she gets slapped a couple times, and she's like, "Okay, I'll just dislocate your fucking arm. Let's go." Like,
yeah, that's why NXT is so good, because the amount of like dainty women's wrestlers is very minimal, if any at all. Like maybe Aaliyah, but she's really the only one I can think of.
Even Aaliyah's kind of like humble. I mean, if you were to look at like Candice, if she were Divas era, she would do same shit. But Candice looks the same, and Candice is a fucking lunatic in the ring, and I love that. She's so goddamn strong. Why? Anyways?
Sorry, I'm like every 2 seconds I'm hearing your voice like repeat itself.
Yeah, I can hear myself echoing in your stream.
That's probably just my headphones echoing, but this is like I'm hearing you speaking twice. It's really weird.
I feel like Discord like me getting on a rant.
Yeah. Discord's like, shut up, please.
I complain about Drew McIntyre doing the same shit. All I'm saying is that Candice is a perfect example, because Candice is she's got like that toxic fairy thing, her whole gimmick, but she's like really strong, and she's really tough.
It's like every word now it happens. Sorry. Your words are still clear. It's just, it seems like like a DJ's scrubbing your sentences.
Just move on to the next promo, because I want to keep talking and repeating while you just focus on the fact that I'm repeating.
Ooh, you just went like static there. So after that, we had a whole thing with Aleister. He's in a dark little pit, dark room. You know, he's just mad Aleister. He talks to Kevin Owens like through the camera, and then removes his eye bandage, and he has a black contact in. That's it. What's special about his eye? It's not bleeding or anything. It's just a black eye contact.
So blame Kevin Owens for leaving him alone, so that Kevin, because of his family, that's how Aleister lost his eye.
Yeah. And even, who was it? Samoa Joe was siding with Aleister on this, that Kevin Owens should have left his family to help out Aleister.
Samoa Joe's just so conflicted in the way that he talks about everyone. He was like on Dominik's side, he's kind of shitting on Dominik. Joe's got me up sometimes.
And then up next we had another promo with what I call the retired guys. Big Show, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, Christian, playing poker again. And then Street Profits come in and join them, party a little bit, and that's it. Then we move on to the next fight.
Show also suggests that he could challenge Drew, and Christiansen's just like, yeah, because that worked out so well the first time.
Yeah.
Drew claymored you to the fucking ground. Anyways, so we have Kevin Owens and Aleister Black. Aleister Black's walkout was so shitty. It just drives me goddamn insane. He looks ridiculous. The vest looks bad. Missing the feather jacket. That was so much cooler. Also, just to go back to the Easter promo, like, I think the best part of Alice's character before was that like it wasn't really spoken. It was just shown. And now like doing this whole promo where he talking to his father, who was a horrible man, and all this shit. That was the point of your original gimmick. You don't need to tell me.
Real quick, do you want to maybe reset the call? Like, just hang up and call again?
Sure.
Your words came across clearly. It's just the repeating thing. I just want to try. All right, we're gonna go on a short technical break. Everybody, don't go anywhere.
I just spoke. Okay, anyways.
Alright, and we're back.
So, anyways, what I'm saying is that I don't need Aleister reiterating his story. I don't need him to talk about it. Because, you know, that was the beauty of it, is that he wasn't a very outspoken dude. And now he's just telling us the whole story. He's telling us everything. It's like, all right. Didn't just spell it out for me, but cool. Walkout music, not great. His original walkout was so fucking cool. Like him rising the ground with all the candles, that shit. You with me at all, or?
Yeah, no, I'm listening.
Okay. It just sucks. Sucks that McMahon took something that was so awesome and then just kind of destroyed it because he didn't like it. But that's also Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
With entire WWE. So.
It also makes me think that maybe he's gonna push Aleister to NXT. Because he gave him a whole new gimmick, whole new walkout.
No, I saw an article that was like, Vince is super happy with the new gimmick. Like, he loves it.
What's there to be happy about?
It makes sense. Because comic fans, as us, fucking hit. And what does Vince like more? And what everyone else does not like. Because that's just how he runs his company. And it's insane. There's no reason that a 70-plus-year-old man calling the shots like that when he can speak in full sentences that are clear. It's just my opinion. Maybe it's rude.
Robert Roode.
Maybe someone should also be kind of stepping in, like, hey Vince, hey buddy. No.
Yeah.
It's just a small idea. You know, in the same way that, like, once your grandparents reach a certain age, they can't make financial decisions on their own because they've lost their fucking minds.
Yeah, Vince had that person in Paul Heyman for Raw, but then Paul Heyman was fired, and now Vince doesn't really have anyone like that for Raw. He has Daniel Bryan for SmackDown, and I guess Paul Heyman to an extent.
It seems.
But it's mostly Daniel Bryan for SmackDown, and nobody for Vince. He's mostly going unchecked, unless maybe Adam Pearce is involved somehow. I doubt it, but
I mean, Stephanie has some control over me, since technically, in theory, the chairperson. But it seems like no matter what, whether it's SmackDown or Raw, it has the final say, and it's man, it's not good. It's just not goddamn good. Anyways, Kevin Owens immediately drives Aleister and starts pummeling him outside the ring. Al finally gets back in. There's Kevin around a bit. They're exchanging blows for a while. Kevin goes to the corner. So does Aleister with his elbow out into Kevin Owens' neck. Then Aleister's launched into the opposite corner, bounces off turnbuckles. Kevin stands on his hand for a while. Kevin chops Aleister for a little bit. There are a couple strikes to Kevin's face, and then ends up choking him against the ropes. They're kind of like, hey, don't do that. And Aleister's like, why? The referee's like, well, because that's my job. Tell you not to do stupid shit. Then there's another elbow in Aleister's face. Kevin Owens stomps on Aleister's trachea. Brooke kicks in the face. Kevin then tries to roll Aleister up while Aleister argues with the referee. Doesn't quite work. Knees to Kevin Owens. Hard clothesline to Aleister. Then Kevin gets off his senton to Aleister, a German suplex. And finally, Aleister's like, I'm out. Just roll out of the ring. Just gonna lay down here for a little while. Safe. And Kevin Owens cannonballs onto him, and I was very concerned that he was going to his fucking neck because the way he landed. Then Aleister takes Kevin Owens from his feet, kind of starts stomping and kicking him, a bit like a schoolyard fight. It was not an Aleister fight. Like it just wasn't the typical Aleister fight that I think I was expecting, and that's why I was disappointed in it.
Yeah, he didn't seem like his normal self today. The martial arts was very toned down, if even there at all, and kind of the blended luchador style was not there at all. Yeah.
And also just a lot of steps, a lot of punches, chops, jabs, shit like that, where it's like, all right, you have arms, good job. I know you guys can do other things. I mean, Kevin completely overshadowed Aleister here, and I know that they're both entertaining to watch, so it's kind of like disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Aleister managed a really cool elbow drop to Kevin Owens, kicks him in the back of the neck, and then finally Kevin gets up, punches Aleister, then kicks him one time harder. The connection sounds. That's the one thing Aleister still has, which is like he can do so much, and just the connection sounds mind-numbingly painful. Aleister senses his knees to throat in against ropes. Kevin Owens gets back up, starts attacking Aleister. Aleister manages a PK onto Kevin Owens' face, covers, doesn't work, gets him into a headlock while Kevin Owens is coughing in the time of Corona, which is just makes me feel so gross. Kevin then powers out, kicks right to the back. Kevin Owens powers out. Aleister kicks him right in the neck. Sends him down the canvas. Then Kevin breaks Aleister. Goes up to the top rope, immediately punched down, or gets punched at her by Aleister, who looks like he's setting up for the superplex. Kevin Owens is not gonna move. Punches Aleister off, sends him back first onto the canvas, sentons onto him, and by that, I was certainly mean directly Aleister's got fucking knees. So And there's a pump strike to Kevin. The match does not end at all. It's still going on, I think, now, because there were like 49 different fucking covers on this match. I think Aleister covered him times in a row at one point. But then Aleister knee strikes Kevin again, starts fighting with the referee, punching Kevin against the fucking ropes. As he does it, I guess, as the announcer said, he was in a blind rage and he was seeing red. So he didn't notice when his elbow connected with Drake Wert's belly button, sending Drake down to the ground. Who had been Aleister the whole time. So he's just like, oh, fuck this, call the goddamn match. It's a DQ. Aleister's an asshole. I'm pissed off. Even after the DQ, Kevin's like, this is not enough for me. And gets a stunner off on Aleister to sort of kind of win. Nice. He had already won because of the DQ. Then as he's walking back up the ramp, he said, I'll just keep fighting. You just keep being a bitch. If there's one thing we can get from Kevin Owens, it's a goddamn one-liner. I swear to God, he like sits like backstage and he just practices that shit. He's just like that'll fucking them. Alright. You have one promo here.
I do. Yeah, I do. And it's simply just an interview with Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke.
That is not the promo I have written down.
I did not write a promo for this. What was this promo?
This was her business walking down the hallway. I believe this is when the mystery janitor.
Yes. This is the janitor when
we
MVP...
completely overlooked a part of that first promo then.
Did we?
Yes, because as Randy is talking and thanking everybody and kind of just like being like, I'm such a cool guy, I won. Randall on the top screen. He says some shit that like he's back for the title, and then he walks out with his suitcase. So I believe this is when the gym comes in and the Hurt Business throw a water bottle at him, only to run into someone else.
Yeah. That's basically it. And then we move into the next fight.
It's still important to know, though, that they ran into Mustafa Ali. I was setting you up there. After they the water bottle, they went to Mustafa.
I completely forgot about that part. I thought that was a completely separate promo.
Yeah, that's the gender part might be a separate promo. To be fair, I'm not sure. All I know is that Mustafa run Hurt Business, and they're pissed off about it, and Apollo and Ricochet interfere. And that was when Mustafa got crossed our list of the potential contenders for the Drew McIntyre fight, along with Ricochet and Apollo, as well as everyone else in the business. But that does lead us into a fight, which is Drew versus Gulak versus Tozawa. This was a fight where I don't know if they really knew what they were fucking doing for the most part. Gulak and Tozawa start stomping R-Truth for a while. Then they throw Truth into the turnbuckle. Tozawa covers, Gulak pulls him off. Gulak covers, Tozawa pulls him off. They start arguing, double clotheslines both of them, get them shut up. Truth then starts punching in the corner. Tozawa punches Truth in the back of the neck. Then there's a team German suplex to R-Truth. As well as an arm sub on R-Truth while Tozawa kicks him in the head. Drew's got arm. Tozawa's got his foot kicking Truth in the head. Thought that joke would come across more clearly. But Tozawa kicks him in the head. Then Tozawa transitions into also doing an arms on Truth. So both of his arms pulled back against him. Gulak decides, hey, well, if we're both here, you know what? You're just distracted. Cover on you. Covers on Tozawa. Doesn't work. Truth then punches Tozawa. Drew... I probably should keep calling him Gulak. Gulak then tries. It's gonna confuse me. Gulak then tries to Tozawa from the ring accidentally, and 100% accidentally because it was not part of the match. Tosses him into a car, the referee for the night. It's like, oh shit! Right into her fucking side. Tozawa falls from the ring. You can see it on Gulak's face too. That he's just like, whoops, was that me? Gulak gets Gulak, and then Tozawa breaks the by going up to the top rope and sentoning onto Gulak. Tozawa goes face for the canvas from Truth. Truth then throws Gulak into Tozawa and wins and gets his baby back. You look confused.
This fight was just a lot.
It was for such a short fight. It was a lot. It was a lot of stuff happening.
It's been a while since we've had one of those 24/7 like sanctioned matches.
I was surprised that Schultz wasn't there. I guess I wasn't, but like I was.
He was busy. Weird that we got Gulak. Hoping, but also not hoping we get him on Raw. Because he has such a connection with Daniel Bryan, but also I feel like Raw would be a good place for him to actually develop a story.
So, I don't know if Daniel Bryan's coming back anytime soon. Doesn't seem prom at this point.
I know he wants to, but I think he's one of those people that's absolutely not returning until COVID's over.
So he's never coming back.
Yeah. But after that, we had, as I mistakenly pointed out before, the interview with Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. God, I completely checked out for this. Like I was watching.
So did Charlie, because she said, "Oh, go on." Sorry.
I was watching. I was listening. Nothing was like clicking. It just went in, went out.
I want to make a quick note. So Mark pretty tired all night. There were several times where I looked at Mark while he was watching any part of tonight, right? And I saw like half lidded eye. I was like, oh no.
That's sometimes what happens when I'm watching.
Here, baby.
Especially Raw. Raw's so long.
Raw is there are a lot of times where even can't. Even with certain matches like with Natty and Lana versus Blonde Ambition. Mine was just like, I'm sorry. Who the fuck is wrestling who right now? Like, yeah. That's why I kind of glazed through that match a little bit, because I was like,
it seems like every episode they're kind of struggling to fill the time, so they just need to just put in random matches. For example, the Mandy and Dana Brooke match, the Andrade Keith Lee match, the 24/7 match.
It was very, very, though, in a not a smooth way, unlike normally. It was very, very much a post-pay-per-view Raw, and again, not a good way, like I normally cut it for being, because I say post-pay-per-view Raw is one of the best Raws you can get.
Mm-hmm.
This post-pay-per-view Raw with the number of like I'm gonna stand until somebody fucking fights me is just like. You don't know who's supposed to be fighting who right now. You don't know who you want out there. Mm-hmm. Because, like, Drew kind of made sense after all. Drew's done that. I think Drew's done 4. Andrade didn't make fucking sense. They definitely had an Andrade Street Profits match. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you they had that planned. They probably had they probably ended up having something as far as Shayna and Nia and Riot Squad rematch of some sort.
Yeah,
and that's why we got Natty and Lana with Mandy and Dana. Maybe they were until the draft for that.
Maybe with Andrade they were supposed to have Angel Andrade versus Viking Raiders.
Or even, I mean, they've had time to plan around that. But even then maybe it was Angel Andrade do something to ultimately slow off Zelina off, as opposed to us tune back into from a commercial to Andrade mid-sentence goddamn microphone yelling at Zelina. while she's like pulled out of like the fucking arena.
It was a great episode in some ways and a messy episode in others. And
the greatness did overshadow some of the messiness. I'll give it that.
And we again had the Hurt Business versus Apollo for the 14th time in a row. Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful tweeted saying that this is the 14th match in a row that Apollo has fought the Hurt Business. He has had no other fights outside of that. But anyway, we have another fight to get onto, and it's your opportunity with this fight.
I'm tired. And this is not going to help me. Alright. So, you know. Say cocktail for this one. Because we fucking need it. Murphy versus Dominik.
It was a decent match.
Actually, no. I want to mention something else that caught my eye during the Mandy demo that I didn't expect you to touch on, but I noticed because I thought something was happening.
Uh-huh.
So at the end of that promo, it's Mandy standing there. Dana's behind her. Like her arm is just kind of behind Mandy. And Dana kind of like, I see her like nudging Mandy. I noticed her nudging her several times. And I was like, it looked like Mandy read what was happening. And I thought, oh, Riot Squad is on the other side because they were talking about taking the titles. Maybe because Riot Squad wants the titles and that makes sense. No. The camera then pans over to Dominik so that we can segue into talking about the fact that Dominik is up next after the commercial break. It was just very, very weird. There was no comment. They would have nothing comment about there. Like you're backstage at a wrestling match. Yeah, there's someone warming up backstage because you just got off the fucking. You were just in the ring. You left the ring. Of course, someone with the next match is out there warming up. It was so weird. It was just so fucking bizarre, and just another piece of the bizarre raw puzzle that came together tonight. Anyways. Sorry, maybe I'm talking about Murphy versus Dominik could also be from here. Either way. So Murphy versus Dominik. Murphy has to be held back, I guess. Dominik gets in. Dominik immediately spears Murphy into the corner. Finally stopped by a kick to the face. Murphy stomps Dominik's head and the shoulder. There's Murphy against the ropes, or from the ropes. Sorry, against. Everything was just so blurry. Murphy grabs his legs, sliding him out the ring. Once they're back in, Dominik goes to the top rope. Murphy away. Back to the ring. Dominik's a baseball slide into, but Murphy duck. Dominik throws Murphy face first to the announce desk, and Murphy throws Dominik over the announce desk. Kind of like, and you can do, I can do better. Like, be nice to your sister. Because that's all he's just being nice. Being a friend, please. I'm begging. Then slams Dominik's head into the apron. Tries to stomp him. Well, stomp his head, not stomp. It's not Seth Rollins, unfortunately. Tries to stomp his head, but Dominik ducks and takes feet from under Murphy. Takes Murphy's feet from under Murphy is what I meant there. Dominik then throws Murphy back to the ring, goes back up to the rope, crossbody to Murphy. Murphy tries to slam Dominik into the buckle, but he counters and slams Murphy. Like Dominik gets his little footy up, and like no, kerpow. Then he gets a hard elbow onto Murphy. Tries to hold Dominik's pants, but receives an elbow in the face and instead tries to bounce off the rope and gets smacked in the face with a Murph knee. Get it? That's how I wrote in my note. That's how I'm gonna fucking say. Then there's a jawbreaker Murphy and a super kick section to Dominik. Murphy goes for the knee strike but misses and is sent to the top buckle and the DD spike to Murphy into the canvas. Every time Dominik does it, I'm like, you're gonna Stone Cold Steve Austin someone, buddy. You gotta be sort of more careful. Maybe he's being really careful. Like, I just can't tell. But like when he like pulled Murphy down head first into the mat.
Like the reason I think that move is really safe is because it's not planting them on their head. It's subtle, but it's kind of a roll. They're rolling like onto their forehead, kind of to the top of their head, and then pushing off. And plus, Dom's arm is kind of like around the top of the head, so that's hitting down first.
I think my thing is more so like with a lot of moves, like I know Indus shared one move where it's like, oh my god, you're gonna kill someone, and then there was another tag team that does it better. I don't remember right now, but with the tag team that did it better, it definitely you could tell that it missed. But it's like there are some moves where you can really tell that it misses, but like it still kind of gets across, and room for error between missing accidentally ending someone's career is massive. So you're like, okay, it doesn't matter then. For example, like the jawbreaker. You're not going to kill anyone doing that. That DDT, it's like, okay. I mean, your room for error is a couple inches. A couple inches of a room for error. And that stresses me out. Because Dominik's young. And I worry about youngers so much. Especially when they haven't gone through NXT. Or any of the training programs.
He might have, but we just might not have been kept in the loop.
Right. That's why I try not to quest too much. I also don't understand how that's so much different from a pile driver. The person's head going in canvas, technically.
It's because you're starting from a standing position and basically falling. You're not planting.
Yeah, I guess. And I mean, it is also in partially on Murphy to make sure that his weight he goes down on legs.
Yeah,
his legs go back first, but
and
okay.
The whole landing on the head thing, that's on the part of the person selling the move. The way like Dominik or anybody can do it, you don't have to land like right on your skull. It's just how you sell it.
Right. In either or, my thing is, I try to be too critical because I'm like, well, they probably know what they're doing. I don't. I don't know what they're doing. And the whole point is that I don't know what they're doing. That's the entire point of wrestling. I knew what they were doing every single time. Why would I watch it?
Yeah.
Just kidding. It's for the story. But either way, and you know what happened when we were watching Dark Side of the Ring, it's like people were like against talking about Fabe. And that's the thing, it's like, okay, I get it, but also there are still people that have had their careers ended because of neck injuries in recent times. So it still makes me like So Murphy then gets tossed into the barricade and then the apron. Murphy so fucking subtly grabs the apron as he rolls back and brings up with him and expose the kendo underneath the ring to Dominik. It was so subtle. I totally thought normal that Murphy just clutching the apron as he rolled back, and it made total sense. Dominik is incensed. He's like, hell yeah, kendo stick. I love this shit. Ugh.
My default.
Like, it's like you get Shane around cocaine, you get Dominik around a kendo stick, suddenly they're like
you get Shayna around elbows.
They don't know how to function. Exactly. Shayna, all the same. Like looked over my camera, like talking to you. Woo! I was off. So Dominik gets his kendo stick. It's like I fucking expected to, and like I didn't say it because I was like, I say a lot of shit, and then it happens, and I'm upset that it happened. I didn't say this out loud. I was just like, He's gonna try to kill Murphy with the kendo skill. Is gonna come out. It's gonna be a whole weird thing. And then I said, but if I don't laugh, maybe it'll come true, and then I'll have to puke. But I didn't have to say it loud because it happened anyways. Dominik killed Murphy with a kendo stick. Comes out and she's like, "No, Dom, don't do it. He's a good guy, Dominik. You don't understand. He's not like Seth. Dominik, don't stop." Murphy then rolls him up because Aaliyah distracted him. Murphy wins. Dominik goes for the kendo shot. Aaliyah is like, again, tells him to stop and slaps him across the face. Which, frankly, someone should have done that a couple of years ago, I think. But that's just me. Aaliyah slaps Dominik across the face and then storms off, but he's already gone, so really glad we didn't get a promo concerning them. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I don't watch it anymore. My brain keeps trying to process like Mick Foley in the I Quit match with 12 unprotected or 10 unprotected, whatever, shots to the fucking head. More painful to watch than this, I'm not sure. But this also has happened over the course of several matches, as opposed to the one Mick Foley match where he walked away. Survived it. I have to watch another episode of Raw after this. Like,
well, you have another fight to go over.
No, I don't. There's a promo with Dolph Ziggler and Adam Pearce.
Oh, right, yeah. So, Adam Pearce is backstage, and then Dolph comes up to him and is like, "Hey, I got a little solution to your to the Drew McIntyre challenge. Just need to make a call real quick. A buddy I know." And
Buddy?
the obvious solution, the obvious response is Sir Roberto Roderick.
All right, Fandango. Yeah, and this was around when I said, well, it's definitely not Robert Roode now.
I thought...
Because I was like... Oh, go on.
I thought it was somebody from Raw Underground, like Dabba-Kato or Braun or Shane himself. Because Dolph's been very, very all over Raw Underground. We hadn't seen Raw Underground at all that night, so I feel like it made sense. But even better.
Because the thing is that I've been talking the last... Is this your first Monday Night Raw back? It was last Monday night that you weren't around, right?
Right.
Okay. So it's been about a week now that I've seen like the rumors that are like Robert Roode's back like right now. Like he's going to be back like right the fuck now. And I was like, oh, all right. So I heard that last week. Tonight I hear you talking about the NXT thing. It's like, oh, I mean, I guess it's kind of like the sudden option. Crazy. Okay. And then the Dolph Ziggler promo happens, and I'm like, "Oh, you want me to think it's Robert? I know if I think it's Robert, and it's not Robert, I'm gonna be sad."
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "It's not Robert. It's someone else. I don't fucking know who, but it's someone else."
Well,
Never.
You have another fight to get to right now.
Oh Christ!
Yeah.
All right. We have the Hurt LC versus Chip Sky and his shiny teeth. They start off shit talking. I don't fucking know. I'm happy to see Mustafa back. We haven't had him since we watched the main event. Missed him. I guess maybe it works in favor because like we missed Mustafa, and then he comes back and he's a good showing because he's been gone Raw for like 5 years. And by that I mean like a couple weeks. But Mustafa immediately punches off the apron. Ricochet kicks Lashley in the corner. Does not take the Hurt Business so long to get back them. And then they start flickering. And you're like, Retribution? But no, it's not, because everyone in Retribution is being quarantined because of fucking coronavirus.
But except
or they contact with someone that did.
Except it was Retribution because they had the logos all around.
What was the point of showing the logo? I'm sorry, I aspirated some of that. And then with like the weird janitor in like the Hurt Business promo, I was like, T-Bar must be one that's safe from all this coronavirus. Or Dio, because the dude. It wasn't. Went to commercial the moment Retribution sign came, and when we came back, Apollo was getting brutalized.
Yeah.
And what was the fucking point is my first question. My second question is, God damn it. So Apollo dodges MVP, sends his knee into the corner while NC securing his neck. Lashley gets in, attacks Ricochet and Mustafa off apron to make sure that Apollo's all alone. Apollo supers Lashley. MVP's in. Frog crossbodied MVP. Really cool. Looks a little scared because I don't really know how somebody can move that fast while falling out of the air. That requires a lot of stuff. You jump off, turn. You got to do the frog thing, and you gotta land. Like that's a bitch. Anyways, Apollo tags Ricochet and MVP tags Shelton. Fucking crossbody because it's Ricochet. Off the top rope to Shelton. Moonsault off the standing shooting star to Shelton. And then a kick out. But Ricochet lands on his feet. Shelton avoids another moonsault, but Ricochet lands on his feet because he's a goddamn cat. MVP gets in. And then he and Shelton work together as a team, as friends, to spike Ricochet into the fucking canvas. Ricochet then misses the step up and security on one direction, comes back, does it correctly, which is one of my favorite things, because I'm just like, how do you do it? How does that make sense? Get it? I don't understand how core strength can work that way. Mustafa is finally in, forearms on forearms to MVP. There's a drop kick MVP from Mustafa. Mustafa punches MVP around for a while, gets a neck break on him. Lashley breaks the cover. Apollo moves off the apron to take Lashley down. Shelton attacks Apollo. Ricochet springs off the apron to him to stop him from hurting his friend, because that's what do. Cedric realized you have not been around in a while. Is that because you have coronavirus? Questions. Mustafa gets in. He is rolled up by MVP, who is then rolled up by Mustafa. Sadly, DDT MVP 450 off the top rope. Vibes. You know, you get Mustafa back. Who fucking Cedric? Not me. We just need Mustafa to come back. That's it.
Yeah.
This is an anti-Cedric podcast right now.
And they're probably going to shove him back onto main event after today.
Stop. Can I have one thing? One.
That one thing was Robert Roode.
How dare you? You.
So after this, we had another retired men promo.
The four uncles.
I don't even remember what this one was. It was just more poker.
Yeah, I you know, for somebody that loves the show and Christian more than anything on this, Shawn Michaels actually. Shawn Michaels is my heart and soul, and Christian is my suburban soccer dad. Big show, very big. So I love three of them. I'm not talking player tonight because I've talked about enough creepy men. All I remember from this is Christian puts his hand down. They're all like cashing in basically. He's like, got 3 aces and Big Show. Look, God. That's 3 jacks. I was like,
real worth that extra promo, guys.
Hey, listen, you gotta see Christian, see Shawn. Are you complaining? Because you shouldn't be.
One thing I will complain about, though, is what happened right after this. We had another promo, one featuring Bianca Belair, that was very weird. It was an elimination sprint.
It wasn't, because this is like her thing. Her new thing has been like doing these promos where she outs everyone. It makes sense. She's very strong. I get it. It wasn't like Viking Raiders versus Profit, like Decathlon shit that they were doing. It's just, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
So fight.
Yeah, it's literally sprints where whoever loses is eliminated, and then we keep going until she's the last one. Good job, Bianca. Now cut to the next fight. Last fight. The fight. Where Drew is standing in the middle of the ring, and he's like, where's my challenger? Anybody? Anybody at all? And then
one thing I want to say
real quick.
Go on.
And then you hear, well, let me try and think of it. You hear, well, let me play it. You hear, amazingly, yeah, so you heard Dolph Ziggler's intro, his walkout. I can't get my headphone jack back in. Oh no. And then you're like, wait, he already challenged Drew once. Now what were you gonna say?
I was going to comment on the promo prior to this before we got into the match.
Was it promo?
Yeah, the one that you just talked with Bianca Belair.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. It's very, very weird that we have to watch Bianca Belair doing the first promo, like, okay, cute, like, back, like, we're back, but, like, doing stuff. Great. We needed another woman. Why can't I just have her fighting literally any of the women?
There's a lot of them.
There's so many women on Raw right now. We could have her fight literally one of them.
You know what we haven't seen in a long time? An enhancement talent fight.
I was gonna say good story writing. Yeah, I mean, sure. I guess if you don't give Mickie James's matches as lately.
Well, we haven't seen any Leon Ruffs at all fighting on Raw.
I miss Leon Ruff so much.
Do you?
No. Yeah, it's just, I if I wanted to watch track, I'd just watch reruns of like your Summer Olympics or something. I don't really watch track and field. I get it. Bianca Belair has like an 8-pack and muscles coming out of her muscle. I understand that she's very strong, very talented. Let her fucking fight.
But none of those races that you would watch would be elimination sprints.
No, they would do it all in one sweep. So if someone won, over. Anyways. Yeah. So. Raw's gonna break me. Raw's gonna break me. So Dolph does come out. Yes, Drew's like, Drew quite literally does say, I thought I said only people that challenged me yet. Sure. Drew was 100% just like, sure, I'll fucking fight you, Dolph. I'll fucking give a shit. Did it once, I'll done. And then Christ on a goddamn cracker. And I knew this would happen the moment Dolph was like, I'm not the one challenging you. It's someone else. The moment lights fucking went out and I heard the first piano note, it was Welcome to the Black Parade. I was like, are we doing this tonight? Yes, we did. Robert Roode is fucking back. I got to hear Glorious Domination very, very loudly. I screamed. My neighbors still not yelled at me for anything I've done in the past, I don't know, 4 months.
Oh, it was glorious. And then we got the fight.
I mean, dude, they don't make songs like that anymore. There's no other song to come back to the main roster with than that. That should be the go song if you're coming back. Like Mickey James, fucking whoever, I don't care. That there's any other song sucks in comparison. And immediately Robert Roode comes out, and I'm like, you know what? If Drew loses his title in this title match, fine. I'll give a shit. I give shits. I got us out, and I got very, very nervous for most of this fight. It was very stressful. Robert Roode looked very good.
Mm-hmm.
Drew has really shitty knees, so really good for him to take care of. Anyways. So Robert Roode just kind of fucking attacks Drew right away. Targets the shitty knees. Drew shoves Robert so hard that he kind of somersaults a bit across the ring. Roode sends some kicking Drew. Drew sends some knees to Roode's chest, and then catapults him into the canvas a la Tommaso Ciampa, except inverted, if you will. And then we have Drew and the top rope kind of just fighting a little bit. Lands crotch first into the turnbuckle. He's hanging off by that top rope with his like fucking legs. And Roode goes to attack, but Drew apparently does his crunches. So dude did a fucking up in the air, threw Robert Roode backwards into suplex. I don't know how he does it. He's just so fucking strong. It's impossible. Both then save Robert Roode from whatever the fuck Drew is about to do. Drew pulls off into the ring, starts pummeling him. Roode takes advantage of the distraction by his little blonde chihuahua friend and starts attacking Drew's shitty fucking knees again. Looks like he's going for the crotch shot at the post. We saw with Kevin Owens and Aleister last week. But instead, Robert takes Drew's broken kneecaps and slams them in the post one after the other multiple times. Drew kicks Robert Roode away back to the announce desk, lifts Drew, and then sends him knee first to the top of the announce desk. And I think this is around the time where I kind of jokingly turned to you and said, do you think we're going to see Drew do a pop?
And then I said, he'll probably try to, but then fall down immediately after it.
We're not talking anymore, so you know. Robert Roode's up top, closes Drew, gets him into a figure four, reverses the submission, but Roode is able to grab the rope. We get a nice little Scout kiss with Drew's broken jaw and a climb. And a massive suplex to Roode twice. And if there's one thing this dude can fucking do, it's a suplex. Drew McIntyre is a very good suplexer. Yeah. And then about 5 seconds after that initial comment that we made, Kip up, Drew McIntyre has to kip up, which normally I'm like, yeah, kip up. We love that shit. Drew kips up into the fact that his knees are broken and immediately falls over. Just immediately is like, oh shit, no, I forgot my kneecaps are shattered. Whoops. So Robert notices that he's fucking dying and does a spine buster. Drew then throws Roode into the lower turnbuckle, tries to go for the future shock DDT, doesn't work. Dolph texts Robert Roode from the Claymore by receiving a Claymore for himself. Dolph Ziggler is now dead around. Robert Roode gets the glorious DDT onto Drew, and then goes for another one, but it is avoided. Because you silly, it wouldn't be a Drew McIntyre match if we didn't get a fucking Claymore with those broken goddamn knees. It wouldn't be. Fucking wouldn't be. And Drew Claymore was Robert Roode right in the goddamn teeth. Thank fucking Christ. Wins or retains the fucking belt. Now I would love for him to do the next most challenging thing for his career, which is shut up and take a fucking nap, dude. Just take goddamn nap. Please. Just lay down.
He needs it. He's been working too hard.
Much. My dude welted, scratched up, and he was like, I'm be tired, not my best, but I'm to put this title on the line. And I was like, Grandma, no. Put the belt down. Get a pillow. I'll hurt you. Now, unfortunately, somehow we still we have another promo. We don't usually use that on promos either. So bring us home, big boy.
So we are back at that mysterious janitor.
Speaking of Grandma, no.
We're at the janitor. Nobody questions. And he goes back to the Legends room where the old men were playing poker. He removes his hood and mask. And who is it? But Randy fucking Orton. And he pulls out a chair. Some night vision goggles. Walks into the room. Turns off the lights. And you just hear a ton of cartoon sound effects for 5 minutes.
While you hear Byron just like, what could we be happening now?
I think we all kind of got the idea what was happening. And then Randy then leaves the room, puts up his hood. Nobody notices the man who just walked out of the room where the old men were just beating his shit. But I can almost guarantee that from this, we will get Edge.
We have to. I mean, who the fuck's gonna fucking fight him at the end?
Yeah. This might turn him away from the title for the time being. But it should bring us to Edge.
Oh.
And that's the end of the program. Now we move on to the bests of the night. Yes.
Gotta change my color a little bit here.
So hot. Sweating.
It was so funny too, because like when we were watching it, you're like, "Who is that?" And I noticed the bridge of the nose, and I was like, God damn it!
They really need to get better security at the Thunderdome.
Pierce really is not cutting the fuck right now.
All right, so best of the night. Let's start with best promo. So we started off with the old retired men in the ring, bringing Drew out, him thanking everyone individually, and then Randy is on the Jumbotron. Very nice moment. I enjoyed this a lot. A little cliche, but it was nice. And then we had an interview with Zelina. We had Zelina Andrade yelling at Zelina in the ring after that. We had the Hurt Business at lunch. And then we had R-Truth getting his belt stolen. And then Akira getting the belt stolen. And then Drew Gulak getting the belt stolen. Leading us into triple threat for the 24/7 I-95 South 7-Eleven 365 They Made Me Watch All Reno 911 title.
Is that the first time done that tonight?
Yeah.
Oh my god, we've been talking about this all night.
Yeah.
How could you have let us down like the mark?
To be fair, I haven't said 24/7 at all tonight. And then after that, we had Murphy and Seth, which was weird. We had the King's Court, equally weird, if not more weird. Then we had Natalya and Lana talking in the ring, wanting the title match or whatever, or belt, I don't know. We had the mysterious promo with Aleister, where he pretends like he has a good story. We have another retired guy's promo with the Street Profits. We had Mandy and Dana. Mandy and Dana interview. We had the Old Men promo where Christian forgets what cards he put down. We had the weird ass Bianca promo. And then we had Randy beating the shit out of the old men in the dark. Very, very tough for promos today.
It'd be Randy beating the shit out of them in the dark, right? Right.
Probably not.
You didn't like the cartoon sounds?
No. These are professional wrestlers. Would think that they could just have like a couple hits taken in the light and they'll be fine.
They were unprotected shots. We learned from Mick Foley. I think it's a name for such. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna give it to R-Truth having chest full of Jimmy.
If he had not raised his arms over his head, yelled, Tozawa, why did you have to be Bowed? Prior to Tozawa sneaking out from under a fucking table. Maybe I wouldn't have chosen it. However, since we did get that, as well as Tozawa apparently knowing he was going to be eaten by a shark, knowing that this was potentially something that was going to come to life, as well as an English translation of the letter that he wrote for R-Truth in the end of his shark-fueled death. Because we have to choose it. It was. I feel like they give like one guy the rights to write out the storyline for the 24/7 championship, and I don't know who that person is.
Is Tozawa with an O?
I love them.
Is Tozawa with an O or an A in the beginning?
Tozawa.
Okay, I got it right.
Taz.
All right, so after that, our fighter of the night, and I already know who I'm gonna pick. So we started off with Zelina versus Asuka. And again, Zelina really performs. She did really well today. I think she did better than yesterday. Because she showed more emotion today. She showed kind of the desperation to land a hit, to avoid being pinned. I think we just need her in better chances, you know? She needs a match where she's not just a jobber. After that, we had Andrade versus Keith Lee, and I picked Keith. The main reason I picked Keith was because when he held up Andrade with just the one arm, oh my god, that was so cool. That was
terrifying.
It was. It was so good, and Keith overall was just. He's much more nimble than he has any right to be. And that's why I love him so much. And after that, we had Lana and Natalya versus Mandy and Dana Brooke. I'm gonna go with Mandy Rose for this fight. She looked better than she did on SmackDown, mainly because she hadn't really wrestled on SmackDown very much as of late. But yeah, when she came in, she was, pulling out all the stops, looking awesome. She just needs, an actual match. And then after that, we had Kevin Owens versus edgy boy Aleister Black.
My god. Captain Hot Topic!
Captain Hot Topic. Yeah, I picked Kevin Owens for this. Aleister is not looking like his normal self. We know what he's capable of. We know the style and techniques he uses. And it looks like he's just half-assing everything.
Dude. We got kind of treated to that Aleister buddy fight that I guess from last year or earlier this year. Yeah, but we got treated to that where it was like it was stellar for a fucking fight.
Yeah.
And now it's like, what happened to you? You can change your gimmick, you don't have to change your fight style. That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah.
It just and like I love Aleister. How many fucking times did I say over the course of the Aleister Mysterio shit that was happening. Times did I fucking say, you know, Aleister fights, I could just sit back and be like, I'll take another hour of this. I'm happy to take an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So many.
But not to say Kevin Owens wasn't great. He really was today. He looked awesome, and his what is it, the senton? His senton is like my favorite senton, honestly. He performs it so perfectly, even though it's like such a simple one. It looks satisfying, it looks great every single time. Maybe close is the Broton. But just for that name alone, I need to, subtract some points from it. Yeah, and
the
then
number one senton you should be thinking of is Dexter Misses, okay?
oh, does he have a senton? I always forget about him.
Yeah, that's his whole thing. It's crazy. It's awesome. I miss so much.
I miss him too. But yeah,
It's Dexter Loomis.
I think the best part of Kevin this fight was after the fight, with a little bit of shit talking, with a little bit of retribution. And then the next fight, R-Truth versus Akira Tozawa versus Drew Gulak. I picked R-Truth. I don't know. Murphy versus
Fair
Dominik. I picked Dominik, but as soon as he pulled out the fucking kendo stick, I got so fucking tired. I'm tired of those kendo sticks. It's so dumb. It's just a gimmick that needs to die in the storyline. I'll care less if other wrestlers use it because it's not their shtick. It's not their stick. It's Dominik's stick. The Dom-stick. But I think out of the two, he performed the best. I mean, I'm in love with his tornado DDT. I think it looks awesome, and Buddy and Seth both sell it really well. Gotta kill the fucking kendo gimmick. The whole reason it was used in the first place was because he was like trying to not show how great of a wrestler he is. But now that we know, he can stop it. Just stop. And then after that, we had Hurt Business versus Apollo, Ricochet, and Mustafa. I picked Ricochet. Ricochet looked great. He had a lot of really good, really good moves down, and I still can't get over how well he sells everything. He bounces. He bounces when he has no right to bounce. He can make, like, he could be an expert soccer player with how well he sells minor injuries. Yeah, he looked fantastic. I just wish we'd seen a little more of him, And then, sorry.
I just said yeah.
Okay. And then last but not least, certainly not least, Drew McIntyre versus Robert Roode. I didn't pick Drew for this fight.
How could you do this to me?
I picked Bobby for this fight because Robert Roode looked amazing. He did. And although Drew looked great, he never doesn't look great. I think Robert Roode just pulled out the stop tier. He made his first fight back a glorious one. One where his like personality in the ring was bar none. He looked fantastic. His character knew what he wanted. The clear targeting of Drew's legs was like what made this fight a little more interesting. You had Drew by himself. Drew's job today was mostly to sell how great Robert Roode is, which he did a good job of it. Drew did a good job with a Claymore kick and basically everything. But I think it's only right that I give it to the man whose return today was made as glorious as his song. because of how well he just fought tooth and nail in the ring. A fight that, honestly, you showed me this fight like 2 years ago, or you labeled this fight 2 years ago and showed it to me today, I would be like, okay, this is going to be a squash. Drew's just going to stomp the floor with Bobby. Because Bobby's just been a tag guy for most of this time. But overall, I'm going to give the fighter of the night to Robert Roode.
Fine.
You don't seem happy about it.
Nah. I want to do better. I did like how he looked. He was tired. He was tired.
Yeah.
He fucking fought all last night. Even fucking 4 extra men on the side, he still fucking fought.
He wasn't supposed to look amazing today. This wasn't his fight to show off. Which is fine.
He got really fucking sick, glorious DDT. I can't argue with that.
Not only did he get that, but he also got a nice Future Shock DDT too. Drew also got one too.
Shock. No, that's Drew's thing. Robert goes for the glory DDT. That's his DDT, Phil.
Robert also.
The Shock is Drew's.
Bobby tried to he tried to do the Future Shock.
Robert tried for a second glorious DDT. Drew went for the Future Shock DDT. It did work, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the Future Shock is Drew's. Robert didn't try to do that. It was just that bungled mess when the Future Shock was attempted.
Okay.
It was bungled because Drew's his knees rather were screwed up.
Okay.
Drew McIntyre has had shitty knees since ICW. Work on strengthening, man.
Well, I'm glad we agree.
I guess.
So our fight of the night started off with Zelina versus Asuka.
You sound so timid.
I want this fight to be good. It was alright. It was one of the better fights tonight. Because Zelina is such a surprisingly good talent, and Asuka's a good personality. But it was missing a lot. It was kind of just the bare bones for a really good fight. And after that, we had Andrade versus Keith Lee. Would have been a lot better if it was longer. I think that was just the only thing that was missing. It was a squash, rightfully so. But it should have had a little more to it to be a really great fight. And then we had Lana and Natalya versus Mandy and Dana Brooke. It was okay. It wasn't a bad fight. It was just okay. Mostly just to show off Dana and Mandy and their transfer to Raw. And then we had Kevin Owens versus Aleister. Would have been a whole lot better if Aleister was, Aleister instead of Captain Hot Topic. Yeah, that's all I can really.
Lobotomize myself until he's better.
I really wanted to enjoy this fight. I was enjoying it, but comparing it to everyone else, it's not what it could have been. And then we had the triple threat for the 24/7 I-95 South, 7-Eleven, 365. They made me watch all Reno 911 title. Between R-Truth, Akira Tozawa, and Drew Gulak. And it was a good fight. It was alright. It was pretty good. Not amazing. Not bad. Better than the ladies' fight.
I personally think that 24/7 championships are usually best done in a ring. I feel like when they're it's like great, but like when they're outside the ring, it can be creative.
Mm-hmm. Like no other title can A, be done in shark-infested waters, and B, done in Rob Gronkowski's backyard.
With referee posing as Rob Gronkowski and to Rob Gronkowski.
With R-Truth posing as the gardener.
Central, it always kind of like ruins me when they do like the triple threat ever for the 24/7. I'm like, We don't need the ring though.
Yeah.
No point to bring it to the ring. The point of the 24/7 championship can be done outside the ring. That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
You give me. I'd much rather watch a dance montage of the three guys just running after each other throughout WWE headquarters and pinning like one another for the fucking while like wrestler in every corner. Then watch it in a fucking ring.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that's my fucking opinion then and there.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. It was definitely just used to fill time for sure. Plus, you can actually show off the moves from the wrestlers when it's done in the ring. When it's outside, you can't really have actual moves done. But
I'm just glad we saw R-Truth come back from his last tweet about having to pee.
Oh yeah,
that he never came back from.
He was on like a drunken tweet fest, opening up, said he's really insecure, and then went to go pee, and then 11 hours later, still hadn't tweeted again. I'm glad he's okay.
I bet y'all don't know that I've had insecurities. Truth tweeted that, and I said, "Brother." But yeah, you know what? He's back being finally after however many hours. He came back yesterday, and that's when we knew that he was okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we can take that.
Yeah. And then after that, we had Buddy Murphy versus Dominik. Would have been a great fight if there were no candlesticks. That's all I can say. And after that, we had the Hurt Business versus Apollo, Ricochet, and Mustafa. You know, with these fights now, with the Hurt Business and Apollo and Ricochet, I just tune out. I tune out at some point in the fight because you're literally watching the same fight for the 14th time in a row. Like,
it's sort of me of like the eeny miny mo, tiger by the toe thing, where whoever starts first wins. That's how I feel with this. It's like whoever gets the hit, like, okay, once you get into like the winner pattern for these matches, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
You're cool. And since Apollo lost to Lashley at Clash, I was like, well, Apollo's back. Mustafa's back. Let's just, I know who's winning this. It's got to be Mustafa and his friend. Oh, let's just fucking goss.
Yeah. But then after that, we get Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Roode. The best damn match of the night, I'll say that now. Because not only was this a great-ass match, but we got to see Robert Roode back since March. The dude has been dearly missed, mainly because of his amazing walkout, and because of how he just goddamn carries himself in the ring. He is something else. I always expect him to just be another, tag partner. Similar how with Jey Uso kind of has been showing up lately. You expect him to be just a tag partner. Bobby Roode turns out to be a goddamn world champ. He's amazing, and Drew is goddamn amazing, especially with how he's carrying himself after the injuries from last night. Everything about this fight was perfect. Well paced. It didn't last too long. It wasn't too short. Everything about it was perfect. You had the interference with Dolph, which didn't affect the outcome, but still played a little bit of a hindrance to Drew. Everything was perfect. Everything about this match was perfect. No complaints at all in the slightest. That is my fight of the night. I know you're gonna pick Andrade versus Keith Lee, so.
How could you? Of course I'm picking Bobby and Drew B.
I thought you were going to say Bobby Lashley?
No. No, I really love this match. I was super excited about it, and I thought that was probably the best choreographed match, too. We got to see full Drew McIntyre getting the fuck down and getting back up to the Claymore and the Glasgow Kiss, which, by the way, still don't think you can do a Glasgow Kiss with broken jaw. Just gonna put that one out there. Really, I don't think that's possible. Fine. Who am I? I've never had a broken jaw. I really like that match for that purpose. The fact that Bobby Roode is back. Fact that he looked fucking glorious.
Hell yeah. Roll credits.
Woo! Ric Flair's dead now.
Yeah, he might
thanks,
actually
Randy.
be.
I mean, that was a lot of shots, so we're just trying to play poker. Anyways, but I really like this match. I thought that was awesome. It was fresh too, which I think is the reason why we really like this.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else was pretty sure replay besides the Mandy and Dana thing, but like Dana Brooke can win this fucking nomination goddamn time soon. So, but yeah, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that we got to see it. So glad that Robert Roode is back. I can't wait to listen to that fucking song over and over and over again.
Like tomorrow.
You better.
Tomorrow we see a headline that says Robert Roode forced to change song after conflict with CFO $.
I really hope that they like Randy Orton him, where it's like we had to hear Randy's walkout song 3 times in one night. Give me that, please.
Yeah.
I would pay. I pay for that.
Yeah, you currently pay for that.
I am currently paying for that. So this is brought to you by Elizabeth's Discover card.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody. To run it back, our promo of the night, Tozawa got devoured. Fighter of the night, Robert Roode. Our fight of the night, Drew McIntyre versus Robert Roode.
The promo of the night should be Tozawa did not devour Wood. Because he didn't.
I'm just gonna put an asterisk.
An asterisk isn't against all your problems, Mark.
It does. Anyway, you want to close this out?
Close this out. Thank you so much for watching tonight, and thank you if you're not watching tonight, but you're watching on a different day. Who's to say? I don't know. The world's a weird place. Thank you so much. We appreciate everyone who comes and watches and visits and fun with us. We will be back on Wednesday to spend 2 hours straight talking about Shawn Michaels coming out at NXT.
And it's also the promo show.
And it's the promo show, but we're gonna spend 2 hours talking about Shawn Michaels. I mean that.
Okay.
So, please tune in. Don't forget, December 19th, Garomis. I'll be there. Hope you will. Mark will probably also be there.
3 months away.
Mark will also probably be there soon. That might be also. She hasn't been here this whole fucking time, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
Speak to that. I haven't spoken to her agent yet. I can't confirm. But please tune in on Wednesday. We love game.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Once again, if you enjoyed, please hit that follow button down below so you're notified whenever we go live. And follow us on Twitter, again, so you're notified whenever we go live. But also on Twitter, we post our picks for Fighter and Fight of the Night on there. So in case you miss an episode, you can still stay tuned on what we pick for our Best of the Night. And if you missed part of this podcast, want to check out previous podcasts, check out our YouTube. The Pinfall Podcast on YouTube. Just search it up in the search bar, and that's it. And I didn't mention our Twitter is the Pinfall Cast. Remove the pod, that's a Twitter. And then follow our personal Twitters as well. I'm at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at ElizaElane23. And follow my personal Twitch as well, twitch.tv/Mark Cameron. Together with Liz and a bunch of other people, we're working on an awesome combination of Pokemon and professional wrestling. It's awesome, and things are getting real exciting, so definitely go check that out. Twitch.tv/Mark Cameron. And again, thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you on Wednesday.
Wednesday.